Congratulations to all of you. I look forward to another 4 more years of working. And a special congratulations to the Central Ward Councilwoman, LaMonica McDowell. Esteemed clergy and faith and community distinguished guests, to the citizens and residents of the best city in the state of New Jersey, Newark. I am honored to stand here the second time before you on Inauguration Day as your 40th mayor of the city of my birth. And I'm even more grateful today than I was 4 years ago. I want to thank you again for allowing me the opportunity to finish what we all have begun, what we laid the foundations for, and what we intend to keep building upon. As history will judge and remember us best by what we have built, not what we have torn down. How many people we have helped and how many lives we have impacted, not how many people we have derided on social media. Our time here at this moment will be determined best by how well we come together, how committed we are to our collective growth as opposed to our individual benefits. So as scriptures say, we have built the wall to half its height, for the people have had a mind to work. We have much more work to do and little time to do it in. We have to continue to reduce intractable crime while upholding our constitutional rights. We can make our communities safe without sacrificing our humanity or our desire for justice. We can attract wealth to our community, encourage economic development without driving out our residents or making it difficult for them to live here. We can control our own schools, teach our own babies to love themselves, and watch our children grow into their dreams. We can continue to grow jobs and build businesses at the same time. We can create opportunity for all of us, not just a few, and we can do this without meandering down the path of this country's national leadership into an abyss of division and inequality. But in Newark, we've always understood that it's impossible for us to achieve these huge and vast goals in isolation, without allies or simply relying on our own individual intellect. We must, with every ounce of our determination, everything we have in our body, be insistent upon unity and struggle, not discourse and division. Our struggles must ultimately lead to our unity and a clearer path forward. We have to finally lay to rest the old politics of division. The election is over. We have to move away from the politics of personal destruction and individual greed. Those of us who understand history know that we are not here on this day at this moment because of individuals, but because of our unity. That the most courageous and wisest among us decided decades ago to convene at Clinton Place Junior High School in the South Ward, both Black and Latino, to ensure that our city would be more democratic, more inclusive, and more right. And those forces that tried to keep us apart then are still alive today. That they're trying to put us one against the other, to drive a wedge in our desire to see our city together in all languages and all religions, both documented and undocumented. They operate based on our division. We cannot allow them to separate us. Those of us whose ancestors journeyed here against unreasonable odds, fleeing terror and inequality, poverty, intolerance, hanging from strange fruit in the South. Those folks who try to separate us are not just our enemies, but they are the enemies of the progress of this city. And they are the enemies of history. We cannot go forward unless we go together. In fact, that is a lesson that this country has yet to learn. And until we unlock millions of Americans out of vicious cycles of poverty, unemployment, poor education, we will never realize our full potential politically, economically, or even intellectually. Our imagination and creativity or power will always be barricaded in by systemic inequality based on race, national origin, religious beliefs, or gender. Newark, we have to be the equal and opposite force to this. While this country is being bludgeoned into the worst of our past, we have to continue to build our future here. We have to keep our eye on that North Star. Nationally, they have drawn a line in the sand against freedom of religion by banning travel from Muslim countries, against working people by making it difficult to organize unions with the Janus decision, against black and brown people by taking away the protections of the Voting Rights Act and upholding voter laws that seek to undermine our success and our access to democracy. They seek to conjure up the worst of America's past, separating families from one another, stopping them to come forward in our country. They're against health care. They're against public schools. And while they had the country focused on Russia and Trump's tweets, they were focusing on solidifying power for the most wealthy and upholding the ugliest parts of this country's past. We cannot afford to be divided. We cannot afford to be divided now, not at this moment in history. We cannot allow our petty differences and our overdrawn egos, our fight for marginal position and limited authority to come at the collective death of our destiny. Now that this maniac has the ability through the Supreme Court to hurl us back into the Stone Ages, we have to love each other even more, hold on to each other longer and tighter. We have to struggle for unity and chart a course forward. In 1896, Plessy versus Ferguson made segregation a law of the land. It ushered in legal support for hatred and white supremacy for more than 60 years until Brown versus Board of Education. Newark, we don't have another 60 years to give to these evil people and their evil ideas. This means locally we must fight to give unions power to organize, to protect our undocumented and our immigrants, to sustain our environment, to fight for equality in public and private sector, to register more people to vote, to make it easier for them to vote, and to restore the rights to as many of those that have lost the right to vote as we can. It means that we have to bring our police and our community closer together, that they have to represent us. It means we have to open our books and employ as many as we can, provide greater access to the quality of education, and grow our economies locally. It means we have to depend on each other more than we ever have in our lives. It means we embrace each other, we uplift each other, that we recognize the humanity in each other despite our disagreements, and we recognize our diversity not as just a strength, but as a necessity, that we understand that we cannot just do well and do good, but in order to do well, it necessitates that we do good. It means we need a local strategy that has a global view. It also means we need the county to help us, we need the state to help us, and we cannot hoard resources and covet power. We have to share it for our collective benefit, and we certainly could not have afforded, especially in Newark, to have our state shut down because our schools need resources, our workers need training, our roads need paving, the unsheltered need housing, the sick need care, our communities need investments, and we don't have the privilege or the luxury of jeopardizing these things fighting over 21 millionaires. It is time that we throw this old way of doing things out. We need big imagination and wide-reaching goals. We need impossible ideas, the urgency of now, and we can't be tempered by the fear of failure or held back by dogma. In Newark, we finally got control of our schools back. We have a new superintendent. And we support him. And he has to begin with big sweeping steps and not be timid. He needs to carve out all that has kept our children languishing in self-defeat. Carve it all out and allow self-determination and democracy and innovation to thrive. And he has to do it now, but he has to do it with all of us in mind. We have to allow it to take our course. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared of the future. The future looks like you. It looks like Newark. It looks like our babies. Let's do it and do it now. We are a contender for Amazon, and I don't apologize for that. We have billions of dollars of growth happening in our city. We can't be afraid of it or turn away from it. We have to embrace it and the challenges it comes with. It does not mean our problems will end. It means new ones will begin. We have to struggle for affordability, employment, and investment. And we need the best and the brightest and the bravest among us to solve these problems now. We have to use it to empower ourselves. And just because you can't point to where this has happened anywhere else in history does not mean it can't happen now in Newark today. Our ideas have to be bigger than our doubts, and our answers have to be bolder than our questions. We have an opportunity now more than ever to mold, to develop our city, to defy expectations, to not live out old stereotypes or be labeled the next Brooklyn. But it's going to take work and collaboration and commitment. We have to be as committed to tomorrow as we are to our right now. We have to be as committed to loving each other as we are committed to throwing stones at one another. We have to be committed to building as much as we are to tearing down. We can't be content with the way things were or the way things are. We have to have the courage to test our ideas and make the impossible possible. Look, I've grown up in these streets. I've learned here, I've taught here, I raised hundreds of people's children here. I've rallied in these streets and got arrested for protesting. I've led schools here and organizations and cultural institutions here. I legislated here, and now I govern here by the grace of God. But ultimately, I live here. This is my home, my city. And I know through my journeys here that we love our city, all of us, an undeniable love. And despite the hardship, the issues, the dark moments, we will find a way to win. We always do. We will find a way to be victorious. And now more than ever, that spirit of victory is alive. It is alive. It is alive in all of us. Our city is poised to work together. We are more collaborative now than we have ever been. Our success lies in our ability to lean on one another, to hold each other up, and see our victory in each other's goals. All we have to do is let it happen, to push away anyone or anything that stands in the way of that momentum. It does not mean we will always agree and we will never struggle. It means we invite disagreement and look forward to struggle, because we know at the core of our struggle is our striving for unity. We can no longer fight just for fighting's sake, and we can't be drawn into battles that are simply over personal disputes. We can't risk our tomorrow because you are upset right now. We have to march into our future together. What I'm asking you to do is not for the faint of heart, not for those that lose faith easily. It is not for those that seek fame or opportunism, that want position to seek power for themselves, but for those that use position to empower all of us. It's not the time for the weak. It's not the time for the meek. This is the time for the courageous, those that would risk it all for the good of everyone. We know we need those with a mind to work, but better a mind to build. We need those that are willing to use every bit of ingenuity they have to help solve decades-old problems. We need big dreamers and even bigger doers. We can't hold on to the past. We cannot hold on to the past. We have to respect it, but we have to eulogize it. We honor our past. We honor our ancestors not by quoting their speeches or paying tribute to their legacies, but by remembering how far they traveled, the rugged terrain they crossed, the sacrifices they made, and the hardships they endured. We remember the pain of their poverty and the steps they took without always seeing the staircase. We remember what they fought for, what they died for, and we vow not to romantically live what they lived, but to take what they have left us to do and complete it. We carry the baton that they've given to us. We can no longer carry it just for ourselves. We have to carry it for hundreds and thousands that come after us. Our job is to keep pushing, keep building, keep imagining a place better than the one we have now, and creating as much of it as we possibly can. Despite how much people try to push us back, we stay the course. We keep the faith. We march onward. I know there are those who are comfortable with the politics of cynicism that thrive off of our division and misinformation, even those today that show up when things go wrong and are never there when assignments are passed out or responsibility given over, that never show up when it's time to build. They can be found feeding themselves off our demise, These are those people for decades that enriched themselves in corporate boardrooms and even on the streets at our rallies. Persistent people who are always there. You see them all the time in the middle of drama, in the middle of problems, in the middle of complaint, in the middle of misery, but they don't have one solution to any of the problems that we endure. They stand in our way. They are in our way, stopping us from seeking common ground, stopping us from winning, stopping us from victory, stopping us from finding solutions. They are people who become pimps of our poverty. Today, this moment, this day at NJPAC, this election, we vow to throw it all away, to never go backwards. We won't stop. Despite those whose job it is to stand in our way, we keep going. Our march may be tumultuous, but we keep going. It may be filled with deep valleys, but we keep going. Virtually impassable steeps, but we keep going. It may be burdened with heavy boulders, but we keep going. And we may not reach our destination in this term or the term after or the term after that, but we keep going. This is why we say, Newark forward, forward ever, forward ever, forward ever, forward ever, forward ever. God bless the city of Newark, and God bless the great state of New Jersey.
Councilman Gonzalez.
I finally made it to NJPAC. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. Thank you, Mr. Lewis, for allowing me to speak after the mayor. I will be the counterpoint to the mayor. The mayor had more than 5 minutes. I'm going to have less than 1. Well, thank you very much. I would like to thank my wife, Margarita, for allowing me to do this again. To my friend, Sammy Gonzalez, for the work that he did with the North Ward Democratic Organization. To Amiri Baraka and the team Baraka for the work that they did throughout the city. To my staff, friends, and supporters. And to you, the voters of the city of Newark. You for trusting me again for another 4 years. Thank you very much. We have a great opportunity in front of us. Working together with administration, we have the opportunity to realize the long-awaited renaissance in the city of Newark. Let's move the ball down the field and score the winning touchdown. God bless Newark, God bless New Jersey, and God bless us. Thank you very much. God bless.
Councilman James, would you step forward?
Good afternoon, good afternoon. We're blessed to be here today. I'd like to thank God for waking us up this morning, allowing us to be here. I thank my council colleagues for these past 4 years, my first full term as a councilman, and look forward to continued teamwork during the next 4. And also welcome our newest councilwoman, LaMonica MacGyver. I'd like to thank my staff, my council staff, now led by Lane Lee, who were there before, during, and after the campaign. For my church home, Zion Hill Baptist Church, I'd like to recognize my pastor, Douglas L. Williams III, and First Lady Lisa Williams. I also thank the entire South Ward clergy, alliance, and ministerial community. I'd like to recognize and thank my family. My mother and father are here. Please stand. I've taken them through a lot, being shot, 2 wars, and now every 4 years a campaign. My mother even went door to door. So God bless you, Mom. I love you. There's another family who's not here, and that is my grandmother, who is 103 years old. But I know she's watching it on TV, so Grandma, I love you. In 2006, a group of Newarkers banded together to run for office and represent our community. We lost that election, but worked together again in 2010 to get Honorable Mayor Raj Barak elected as councilman of the South Ward and later mayor. We have never lost focus on our mission to improve the quality of life in our community, and I stand behind him moving Newark forward. Mayor Barak is a visionary who has put Newark and our needs as a community to the forefront of his administration. And I have never placed a text or call to Mayor Baraka which has gone unanswered. I also thank the Baraka team for putting in countless hours, going door to door, and pushing our message out to the residents of this great city. In the South Ward, we have many promising developments to look forward to. A new police class going into the academy in August. Thanks to Mayor Baraka, the South Ward has gotten the majority of all new officers out of the classes which have graduated these past 4 years. Conversion of Maple Avenue School into upscale residential housing by the Hanini brothers was just approved by the zoning board last week. 2 senior housing projects, which are in the early planning stages. Completion of the long-awaited Bergen Street Tucker View apartments. Expansion of the Bergen Lyons Clinton Special Improvement District, led by Ms. Ronnie Bruce. Continued funding for the street team and Street Academy, based out of our National Action Network High-Tech Center at 400 Hawthorne Avenue, headed by the Reverend Steffi Bartley, to help fight crime by curbing feuds, retaliation, and gang-related activity, while at the same time being paid a small stipend and earning their GEDs. The $2 billion PATH expansion project, which is still under federal review. Redevelopment throughout the ward where small local builders are rehabilitating 1, 2, and 3 family homes. Expanded operations at the Shani Baraka Women's Center, located at 300 Clinton Avenue. And what everyone's been talking about, continue street paving and pothole repair. I will also be aggressively pushing owners of blighted property to make improvements along our major South Ward commercial corridors. As a community, we are tired of seeing entire city blocks of vacant commercial property in various states of disrepair. Although the owners may not live here, they must do better for our South Ward. We deserve it. And in closing, I'd like to thank the residents of the mighty South Ward for their vote and trust. They rightfully ignored smear literature and negative campaigning by opponents. I will continue to be accessible and accountable. The community meetings are growing due to our genuine love for our ward and desire to see it improved. Only by working together on all fronts is this possible. My monthly community meetings are open to all at 400 Hawthorne Avenue every third Saturday of the month from 9 to 11 a.m. And I can also be reached directly at 973-991-8876. That's straight and box. God bless all of you, and God bless the city of Newark. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. I'd like to introduce the council member for the West Ward, Joseph A. McCallum, Jr.
You know, we have a running joke. Nobody wants to be the one who speaks behind the mayor. I'm glad it was you, Carlos, and not me. Wow. Good afternoon to our distinguished guests, the mayor, my fellow council members, stakeholders, and to the many Newark residents who came here to NJPAC to witness this auspicious occasion. To my West Ward residents, I say thank you. Thank you. Thank you for entrusting your leadership to me for another 4 years. Though I was much honored to be elected by the residents in 2014, I am as equally honored to be selected to lead the West for another 4 years. And I am just as intent on leading the ward with honesty, integrity, and pride as I was then. There was not one day that I took your trust lightly, and I was then, and I still remain, steadfast in my commitment to moving the West Ward forward and to ensuring that our residents are proud of the ward. And I am as equally intent in making sure that we work as a team and that we are all engaged as we move forward in the future. This day represents a recommitment for me to the causes and goals that I have been fighting and striving for the last 4 years. We have been laser focused on public safety, education, economic development, and the arts, recreation, and culture. I understand that even being in this position a second time is the work of a power greater than me, so I must first and foremost thank God. I must thank God. I must also thank the mayor, the best mayor in the country, the Honorable Mayor Ras J. Baraka. I want to thank his chief of staff, Amiri Baraka, for being steadfast and being my brother in this struggle to continue to move Newark forward. I want to thank the committed members of Team Baraka. I must thank my new staff members, Alonzo Herron, David Comasanias, Carolyn Walker Jordan. Is that it, David? Oh, Kevin Waters, the mighty Kevin Waters. Okay. Maybe lose my thought. With the long months of the campaign trail, I was humbled by the chance to speak to the many residents of our great and diverse ward. From one end of the ward to the other, We walked in Ivy Hill, the Fairmount section, Roseville, and Vailsburg sections. In each and every section, the concerns were similar. Residents said to me, "Councilman, we need more local jobs. We need nicer parks and better recreational activities for our families." Residents also want less crime and violence. They want better schools. "Councilman," they said to me, we want access to health care centers and restaurants here in the West Ward. We want these things here where we live so that we don't have to travel to other parts of Newark or go to other cities. We want to obtain services in the West Ward, and we want to spend our money right here in the West Ward. You have been heard. You have been heard. In the last 4 years, we have already started to address many of the residents' issues and concerns. We have worked to produce a state-of-the-art basketball court at Boylan Street Rec Center. There's a new soccer field at Rise Academy, which sits on South Orange Avenue. There are 2 new police precincts, which have opened since 2014. There are a new state-of-the-art Sheriff's Department building on West Market Street, which sits directly across from the sparkling new Donald M. Payne Technical Trade School, which also sits at the old United Hospital site, which sat blighted for 20 years or so. We are proud of the work that we performed in helping L&M developers to renovate Georgia King Village, which has helped to virtually eliminate crime there and also has beautified the complex. We were at the table with PSE&G for the Fairmount Switching Station Art Wall project, which had a community service agreement which included and called for the hiring of local contractors and residents. And with the help of the mayor and my colleagues, we negotiated a $42 million payout to the city. $42 million payout to the city, which allows the city to initiate other projects around the city, which will serve to keep moving Newark forward and the West Ward forward. We invite everyone to come by West Market Street at Littleton Avenue to see the world-class art wall that our local Newark artists have created, and which is displayed. The artwork is displayed on a retainer wall around the site. It's a world-famous tourist attraction at this point. These projects are serving to reinvigorate the West Ward as well as the overall beautification of our city. Also, I will be remiss to not mention Partnership West Incorporated, which is a new business improvement district in the West Ward. Our ward was the only ward in the city which did not have a business improvement district, but we do now. Thanks to the stakeholders, we do have one now. Thanks to the stakeholders who came together to make this happen. Also, thanks to my colleagues again for voting and supporting me in this project. But the overwhelming sense I got in walking the district and talking to residents was the need for West Ward residents to come together and speak with one voice. For there is strength where there is unity. I promise as the West Ward Councilman to be that voice of unity and strength during these next 4 years. I will honor that commitment and represent my residents' interests fully and completely. There are many new projects on the drawing board, including the St. James Medical Center on South Orange Avenue, which we just did the press conference, me and the senators, 2 days ago, Friday. That's going to sit directly across the street from West Side. It'll be a federally qualified health center based on ability to pay. The West Ward has been a medical desert, and we're going to eliminate that and make it a ward where we have great medical care. There are many new projects we are very excited about, and accessible medical care is much needed necessity in the West Ward. Also, we're still very actively involved in seeking the right development for the old PAP site. And of course, any projects that come to the West Ward will be asked to honor a community service agreement to hire local contractors and Newark residents. That's what any project. The ward has begun to move forward at breakneck speed. We have spent so much time getting the initial projects off the drawing boards that during my second term, we will see completion of those projects and many new projects coming on board. I would be remiss if I did not thank the mayor in helping to make these projects possible. The mayor has worked diligently with me and all of my colleagues to help us move forward. He doesn't just talk about it, he actually works with us so we can make things happen. And that has to be acknowledged, as he is truly invested in Newark and in the West Ward. Without the mayor's help, assistance, and partnership, many of the ongoing projects or future projects would not be possible. I also want to thank my colleagues for their support and teamwork, for no agreement can be accepted without their support. Though I have been elected to represent the West Ward, it is abundantly clear to me that the wards are connected at the hip. And it is important that we move Newark forward with a holistic determination that will benefit all of the residents, because this is Newark, and we are all connected. I have a partnership with the other members of the City Council, and they have supported my efforts on projects that will ultimately improve our ward. I want to thank County Exec Joe D. He left. I want to thank Joe D. for being a partner to the West Ward and for making major improvements in our ward. It has to be acknowledged. We have 3 county parks, and they have all seen major improvements. From the playgrounds and basketball courts to the senior clubhouses being restored, and not to mention the Donald M. Payne Vocational Trade School and the Essex County Sheriff's Department relocating to the West Ward. Thanks, Joe. The West Ward is on the move, and as I start my second term, it is with unity, strength, and leadership that we will go from community meeting to community meeting, detailing how we are moving our ward forward. West Ward residents will see better schools, more serious programs for our residents, more services and programs for our residents within the next 4 years. There will be more health services. What's that? Okay, next 4 years there will be more health services, improved parks, recreation, and safer and cleaner streets. We will also improve and grow our business improvement district. Though the bid got off to a roaring start, there's still much work to do with our local businesses, residents, and property owners. Much has been promised, much has been done, much remains to be done, and with God's help and the support of the mayor, city council, residents, and stakeholders, we will continue to make the West Ward a ward we can all be proud of and that we can believe in. And I want to say thanks to my mother. I know she's here somewhere. For whatever I am or whatever I do, it's for the strength that she's imparted into me, her and my father, and the support that she has given me through my whole life. So I want to congratulate my mother, and wherever she is, I want her to know that I love her. And once again, thank all of you. And let's get back to work. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilman. Ladies and gentlemen, the council member for the Central Ward, LaMonica R. MacGyver.
Greetings to my amazing mayor of our great city, to my council colleagues, to my family, to my friends, to my entire team who is here. It's a lot of them, but I'll name a few real quick. Leon Purdy, who's here. Rahman Muhammad, Janique Flanoy Hamilton, Aziz Hamilton, Amiri Midi Baraka, I don't want to miss anybody, so I'm going to stop there. To the courageous residents of the Central Ward, I'm honored to be here today on this historical occasion to serve as the youngest councilwoman of the Central Ward. It has truly been a long but yet inspiring journey to get to this great day. But through it all, I'm thankful and I'm blessed to be able to have this opportunity during a time like this in the city of Newark. While there are many even today that question my ability to do this job, there is no doubt in my intentions, my courage, my strength, my purpose to serve the people of the Central Ward. My dedication to fight for our children, for our families, for our seniors is much greater than any doubt, and I am pleased that the people of the Central Ward agreed with me on June 12th. The people have spoken because God has spoken. God did the choosing, and I am happy to be chosen for such a time like this. So with all praises to God, I stand before you today, even in a time when women like me are not supposed to run for office. I was not born to a wealthy or powerful family. I was born in a place where you have to determine quickly each and every day what your destiny will be. I am LaMonica McIver, just a girl from the Central Ward, and I am dedicated to being the champion for the people of the Central Ward. The Central Ward deserves a champion. The time is now. This is an important and crucial time for the people of the Central Ward. We are living in a time when our ward is expanding rapidly, and we must benefit and take part in that expansion. We deserve great schools. We deserve clean neighborhoods. We deserve safe streets. We deserve decent paying jobs, and we deserve a wealth of opportunities for our seniors and for our youth. With Newark going forward, it is time for us, for residents, to take part in going forward. We must get involved. The time is now. Now is not the time to fight one another, and now is not the time for you to elect officials based off what they can do for you individually, but what they can do for us collectively. There is no more room for selfish leadership. We need courageous leaders, leaders with no personal interest, leaders with no personal gain, but leaders that stand up for what is just, no matter the consequences. Leaders' guided principles can no longer be money and can no longer be at the expense of the people. We need leaders who create new leaders, leaders who are passionate about creating a collaborative culture to get us all ahead. Leaders like Ras Baraka. I was placed here to understand the old, but speak in the voice of the new, to move the Central Ward from good to great. Leadership must come out of necessity. Therefore, I am not here to be what you are used to. We cannot do We cannot do what we used to do and have impact on today. Let this be the beginning of new hope, new vision, and new aspiration. I am from New Hope Village, and I am proud to be a product of this great city, these public schools, and these same streets. I am proud to carry the stories of our strong seniors and the success stories of our youth. I thank God for giving me this opportunity, and I thank the people of this great city for awarding me the privilege to be on the front line to represent the people of the Central Ward. Thank you all. Seriously, thank you all for this opportunity. Even those who did not vote for me, thank you. I say thank you to you. Victory belongs to us all, and time will tell as we go forward. God bless you all.
Thank you, Councilwoman. May I present the council member at large, Eddie Osborne.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to start by thanking the residents of the great city of Newark for voting for me. I do not take this opportunity for granted. I consider it an honor to serve you and look forward to working with you over the next 4 years. I'd like to thank my mother and my family for always supporting me. And I'd like to give a special thanks to Mr. Ray Pacino and my colleagues at the Laborers Eastern Region for always putting Newark first and fighting for our residents to have opportunity at gainful employment while helping move our city forward. I'd like to thank all the unions that endorse me. Together we are union strong and will continue to protect the working class. I'd like to thank my staff, Crystal, Trenton, Kevin, Yambley, Jean, and Shalika, for always making our constituents a priority and going above and beyond to serve them. I'd like to thank Mayor Baraka and Midi Baraka and Team Baraka for supporting me and working day in and day out to make sure that we were successful. And in closing, I'd like to thank Council President Mildred Crump and my council colleagues for always supporting labor in its agenda and keep our residents safe and gainfully employed. We still have a lot of work to do, but I'm confident that this team will get the job done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilman. May I present Council Member at Large, Luis A. Quintana.
I don't know about you, but I'm excited, right? But you know, I'm excited because I was a part of the Baraka team, and I'm honored to have been a part of this team and continue work with this team. Again, I just also want to thank someone who's behind stage, who gave me my first opportunity in public life. You know, today, 7 terms I've been elected to the Newark Municipal Council. And it started with Mayor Sharp James and I was his deputy mayor, and I learned a lot from serving with someone of that level. I learned how to serve the city that I love, not just the one ward where I live, or not the SIP where I live, but the city and the 5 wards of this city that I love, the city I call home, a city where I was not born, but I have learned to grow in a city that I love and I call home, and this is this great city. To a woman who and I made history. Mildred Crump and I made history together. There was a time there was no African-American female on the city council. There was a time there was no Hispanic on the city council. And I was the first Puerto Riqueño, and she was the first African-American female. And I see Ms. Baraka and her husband, who were the creators of the Black and Puerto Rican Convention. Madam, thank you so much. To my family. You know, I look at the terrain of Washington and I am very paranoid. Can you imagine? My 3 children have been separated from my family. That's a hardship. And what's going on in this country is a shame. And I'm speaking on behalf of those children who have been separated from their mothers and fathers. But I'm not going to be as long, but I'm going to be as precise to tell thank you to all of you, to the 17 almost 1,000 people who voted and gave your vote of confidence to me, a part of the Baraka team. I am very humble, estoy muy contento, muy orgulloso de ser puertorriqueño y poder estar aquí con ustedes poniendo a Dios primero y poniendo a todo el pueblo primero. It would be a mistake if I would not speak in Spanish, because they want me not to speak in Spanish. But see, the America that I know wants that to happen, but it's not going to happen, because I've seen it in the past. I seen it in the past, but now we have a captain on the ship in the city of Newark, and Mayor Ras Baraka. Thank you, Mayor, too, for your direction, coraje, lucha. Que vamos a seguir hacia adelante. We're going forward. The department heads, you have a lot of work ahead, because it's not just department heads. You have a lot of work, because we get it every day from the citizens. So it's time to roll up some sleeves, and it's time to do some work for the citizens of this city. But again, I'm not going to be long, but I want to wish my friend, Councilman Ramos, happy birthday on his birthday, too. And I want to thank my sister, Maria, who her and I flew on the same flight, coming to here in 1967, during the time of the riots. We were alone. Can you imagine if they had separated us from our mother, who was here, who could not read or write, who could not understand how to get to an airport? Can you imagine? Maria, I love you. I love you, my sister. And for three decades, I can write about the history of this city and its people. I love the city that I was not born on, but the city where I will rest my eyes, not to the end, but to remember the people who paved the way for me. Gracias, thank you, God bless you.
Thank you, Councilman. May I present the council member for the North Ward, Aníbal Ramos, Jr.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'm truly delighted to be here this afternoon. I want to start off by thanking the leader of our team, the great mayor of the city of Newark, Mayor Ras Baraka. Let's give it up for our mayor. And I also want to thank the members of the City Council. This is actually my 4th term that I've had the honor and privilege of serving this great city. I am no longer the youngest member of this council. I have been for the last 12 years, I think. And that distinction belongs to our new colleague from the Central Ward, LaMonica MacGyver. And I want to dispel any rumors that Council President hurt her leg hanging out with me one night at El Merengue restaurant. So, Council. But I truly admire my colleagues on this council. We had the opportunity to get to know each other in a very special way during this last election, and we were all very proud to work together as part of Team Baraka as we move our great city of Newark forward. To the more than 82% of the voters that came out in support of my candidacy in the North Ward, I just want to say thank you. To the 18% that didn't, there's room to jump on board and support us. But I want to thank a number of people who made the election possible. And the election is, for me, is just an exercise. The process of getting to May 8th is a process that takes place every single day of the year while we work hard on behalf of the residents we represent. So one of the best democratic organizations in the entire state of New Jersey. I'm a proud member of the North Ward Democratic family. Thank you so much. To my campaign manager, Samuel Gonzalez. I don't know where Sammy is, but Sammy, thank you. To my staff at City Hall, who has to deal with my moodiness sometimes, and more importantly, we pull together to make sure that we do the best job possible of delivering services to the people we represent, whether they live in the North Ward or anywhere else in the city of Newark. Thank you to my staff. I appreciate you very, very much. And to my family, my sisters are here, my girlfriend is here, my nieces and nephews who I adore very much and I'm very proud of. Thank you so much. And to a very special gentleman who I had the privilege of watching pretty much every morning when I was a kid, getting up around 4:45, 5 o'clock in the morning to catch 2 buses to go to work in a little factory in the East Ward of Newark. To my father, thank you so much, Dad. I love you. I may be the councilman, but he is the mayor of Mount Prospect, and don't mess with his title. And as I look forward to the next 4 years, I think back on a number of different initiatives that we've had some influence on and have been able to move forward in order to improve the quality of life in our city. I'm particularly proud of the fact that I was the lead sponsor on earned sick leave legislation here in the city of Newark, along with my then colleague, Councilman Raz Baraka. City of Newark now has its own Green Acres program. And as a result, we're able to invest close to $2 million a year in acquiring open space and making improvements in our parks. We've done it in Elwood Park, we've done it in Casburger Field, and we recently built a brand new Mount Prospect Pocket Park, all thanks to that Green Acres Fund. We've recently converted salvage yards into market rate and affordable housing. This year alone, we're going to officially cut the ribbon on more than 240 units in the North Ward, which are definitely contributing to a better quality of life. Councilman McCollum spoke about the improvement district. The North Ward is the only ward in the city that has 2 neighborhood-based special improvement districts. Improving the quality of life, encouraging small businesses to relocate in the North Ward. I want to thank the Mount Prospect Partnership and the recently created Bloomfield Avenue Lower Broadway Special Improvement District. North Ward is also home over the last 12 years to 3 brand new elementary schools. And the thing I'm proudest about when it comes to public education is that the highest demand for public school enrollment in the entire city of Newark is in the North Ward. New police precinct, and Director Ambrose, I think I see you in the crowd. Hopefully opening its doors September this year. And that's something that we have fought for. Even though the North Ward, sometimes people say, oh, it's a relatively safe ward. We have the most calls for service of any precinct in the entire city of Newark, and we're very proud that we're going to open a secondary precinct to better serve the residents of our community. To my Jabroni family, you guys know who you are. You will not be disclosed here. I just want to say thank you for your support. To my brother, Kevin Ryan, who we lost far too soon last week, I want to say thank you for your friendship. You would be here with us today celebrating our swearing in, but more importantly, celebrating my birthday later on today. It has been a great 12 years. I thank you for the privilege and honor, and I look forward to making the next 4 years even better. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I would like to welcome additional dignitaries here with us today. On stage is Mr. Brendan Gill, President of Essex County Board of Chosen Freeholders. In the audience, Mr. Armando Fontoura, Essex County Sheriff. Mayor of East Orange, Ted Green. And with us earlier was the Lieutenant Governor of the state of New Jersey, Sheila Oliver. And now we would like to do the presentation of flowers. We would now like to welcome Reverend Carmelo Roman, pastor of Temple Rock Church. Please come forward for a benediction which will close the inaugural ceremonies.
Thank you. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Look at your neighbor and say, hey, neighbor, what's up? Yeah, you've been rubbing on my arm all afternoon. God bless you. We want to congratulate our mayor on his re-election, the Honorable Ras Baraka, and our city council folks. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. 63 years ago, a little short Puerto Rican lady came from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Any Puerto Ricans in the house? Stop it. You guys are too proud. Stop it. And she raised 7 kids here in Newark. My brother David became a doctor, graduated from UMD&J. My sister today is a school teacher at First Avenue School. 2 of my brothers retired from the United States Postal Service with 44 years of service. My kid brother's an electrician running all over the city, and I'm running around this city trying to get people into heaven. Come on, somebody. I'm honored to say I'm born and raised in Newark. And Newark don't make no junk. That's right, believe in Newark. I'm here. God is here. Mr. Mayor, on behalf of Temple Rock, your church, where you've come and shared with us many times, 800 people send their greetings to you. One thing about Puerto Ricans is they try to sneak in here. They couldn't climb the fence. Come on. Yeah, they get in here, they think this is a church service. They be rolling in the Holy Ghost all over the place. Yeah, but God is good, and we're thankful for our leadership in this city. Would you stand to your feet as we do our closing benediction? We're honored and blessed and thankful that together our brighter days are ahead. I'm going to ask you to do something that I ask at our church. If you really do love our leadership here, you know that they're not perfect, right? Oneness in any cause talks about making allowances for each other. Now, you all know that they're not elected because they're perfect. I mean, they're all good looking, but we're not perfect either. And so we're going to cut them a break, and we're going to get this thing done together. Would you stretch out your right hand as a blessing upon them as they humbly stand before you? Let us pray together. Gracious Father, we humbly come before your presence asking that today you pour out a special blessing upon our mayor, the Honorable Ras Baraka, our city council, upon every elected official across this city. We also ask for a special blessing upon the men and women that protect our great city. Give wisdom to those in whom, in your name, we entrust the authority of government, that they may be just and peace in our homes as their leadership is exemplified. Some of these leaders may be just beginning their careers in a world which most likely at some point will call upon them and lead them in areas that are unknown in our natural understanding. Others have already answered the call, even in dangerous times, the trumpet call of service. Many times they have come out of their comfort level to serve us. Today we offer up the gratitude of praise for you and thanksgiving that you have blessed our city with such leadership. Today we call them our warrior breed. Lord, I pray that today, never let one American in our city to know that we are blessed as a nation and as a city. We are a nation that is blessed with freedom, justice, and liberty for every citizen. I know that it is only because of men and women like the men and women who serve our city and those who serve on our streets and in our neighborhoods, the men and the women willing to be guided by your wisdom and strength, men and women known as God's warriors, that the city of Newark in the state of New Jersey will remain strong and bright with freedom's light shine, hallelujah, even greater. God, I know you hold a special place in heaven for those warriors in the brotherhood of service in arms who love and stand boldly with honor, courage, and commitment in the face of evil. Almighty Father, creator of all life, I ask that you endow our mayor, our city council, and every public servant with these attributes so they may continue to fight the longest running fight known to man, that of good and evil. I ask, even when they are down or they face dangers in their daily lives, be their fortress, be their strong tower. Should they face the impossible and feel inadequate, which is a common place for many leaders, for all of us, remind them that nothing is too hard for the Lord. And as the Apostle Paul wrote in Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who gives me the strength. When they're tired and anxious, if they're afraid, give them rest. And your peace, which you said surpasses all understanding. When they feel they cannot take another step or face another challenge, I pray that you empower them with your strength and stamina. Whenever our leaders feel weighed down with their own personal trials and challenges, may your grace prove to be sufficient. When they are faced with the criticisms of many, Lord, help us to stay strong and focused. They will face many critical decisions. Provide them with sound judgment that they will need to make God decisions. Should they face physical and health issues or spiritual temptations, arm them with moral courage and help them keep their faith and trust firmly anchored upon you. Bring these humble servants through every day of their lives. Newark needs you. They need you. We all need you. Through the fires and trials of life, may they praise your benevolence, generosity, and sanctity as they strive to live lives filled with integrity, justice, and compassion for our city. And finally, I ask God to grant a special blessing and protection upon everyone that together will help push the vision of this great city forward. We stand in the gap. In fact, today we declare we will be gap dwellers, for we will do it again and again and again. And so now I give my pastoral blessing to everyone in this room, especially to our mayor and our city council. It comes from Numbers chapter 6. May the Lord bless you, Mr. Mayor and council. May he keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. I bless you in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. And everyone said, Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Roman. We would also like to recognize an additional dignitary here with us today, Mayor Mapp from the city of Plainfield. This concludes the inaugural ceremonies. The next part of today's program will be the organization meeting required by state statute. Thank you.
Congratulations to all the elected officials, City Council. We say invocation for the Council. Father in heaven, eternal God, Fount of wisdom, we ask you to bless Mayor Ras Baraka and the Municipal Council we have elected. Grant that through their discussion and decisions, we may solve our problems effectively, enhance the well-being of our city of Newark, and achieve together a fairer and more united society. Lord, pour down your grace on all the people of Newark, so that the renewal of this great city will begin and take root in the goodness and decency of its people. And we ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Congratulations again. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Acosta. Reverend clergy, Mayor Baraka, the honorable members of the Municipal Council, their families, and friends and guests. We now convene the organization meeting of the governing body of the City of Newark in accordance with the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act. Adequate notice has been provided to the media, the public at large, establishing the date, time, and location of this meeting. May I have a roll call of those present, please?
Amador.
Here.
Crump.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Here.
Present.
James.
Abstain. No. Present.
McCallum.
Present.
McIver.
Present.
Osborne.
Present.
Quintana.
Here.
Ramos.
Here.
As city clerk, I recertify for the record that on May 8th, 2018, there was a municipal election in the city of Newark and a runoff election on June 12th, 2018. In those elections, the voters of the city of Newark elected the Honorable Raz J. Baraka as mayor, the Honorable Augusto Amador as council member from the East Ward, the Honorable Mildred C. Crump, council member at large, the Honorable Carlos M. Gonzalez, council member at large, the Honorable John Sharp James as council member from the South Ward, the Honorable Joseph A. McCallum Jr., council member from the West Ward, the Honorable LaMonica R. McIver, council member from the Central Ward, the Honorable Eddie Osborne, council member at large, and the Honorable Louis A. Quintana, council member at large, and the Honorable Aníbal Ramos Jr., councilman from the North Ward. Organization meeting of the Municipal Council. Resolution 7R8A is the election of the Municipal Council President. Council of the Whole to elect Council Member Mildred C. Crump as Council President. Roll call.
Amador.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
James.
Yes.
McCallum.
Yes.
McIver.
Yes.
Osborne.
Yes.
Quintana.
Yes.
Ramos.
Yes.
President Crump.
Yes.
Councilmember Mildred C. Crump has been selected as the Council President for the City of Newark Municipal Council. Madam President, I pass on to you this gavel as a symbol of your office and authority. May you wield it wisely and judiciously. With this presentation, we wish you every success in your high office as President of the Municipal Council of the City of Newark. Resolution 7R8B, the election of Council President, Council of the Whole to elect Council Member Luis A. Quintana as Council Vice President. Roll call.
Amador.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
James.
Yes.
McCallum.
Yes.
McIver.
Yes.
Osborne.
Yes.
Ramos.
Yes.
Quintana.
See.
President Crump.
Yes.
That's it. That's it,
We have an opportunity for the new Council President to make a statement. Council President?
No. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Let me thank my colleagues for one more time in providing me as president of this great legislative body. We've grown to become a family, not just people who work together on particularly items, but because we respect one another, we have been able to make some significant changes here in the great city of Newark on behalf of this community. I pledge my loyalty to each one of you, certainly to the Vice President, Council Vice President Quintana,
Yes.
as to everyone else. My door shall always be open to you. Our purpose will be to serve not one another, but to serve the residents. Thank you again, and God bless you.
Thank you, Council President Crump. There being no further business, Council of the Whole.
John, you have motions today?
Motions.
Motion?
I just want to say hello to Hope Jackson from the South Ward. Hello, Hope. Love you.
Where's Hope?
Oh, okay.
Council of the Whole to adjourn this meeting.
Yes, yes.
Roll call.
Amador,
Yes.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
McCallum,
Yes.
McIver,
Yes.
Osborne,
Yes.
Quintana,
Yes.
Ramos,
Yes.
President Crump.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations to all.
everybody. Let's go do it.
All right, guys. See you later. Enjoy the rest.
Hi, and thank you for joining us again. I'm your host, Charisma Bryant, and this week I have some exciting news you don't want to miss out. On July 1st, Mayor Ross Baraka was sworn in for a second term along with members of Newark City Council at an inaugural ceremony held at New Jersey Performing Arts Center. Take a look.
The voters of the city of Newark elected Mayor Raz J. Baraka mayor.
Mr. Mayor, I congratulate you on having the support of the people of this great city for another term as mayor.
I, Raz J. Baraka,
Do solemnly swear.
do solemnly swear
That I will faithfully.
that I will faithfully,
Impartially.
and justly perform
All of the duties.
all of the
According
duties
to the best of my abilities.
according to the best of my abilities.
So help me
So
God.
help me God.
Congratulations.
I am honored to stand here the second time before you on Inauguration Day as your 40th mayor of the city of my birth.
Let me assure you that the next 4 years will be the greatest years of the life of the East Ward and the city of Newark.
Everything Newark needs for a stronger and fairer future is right here. And most importantly, Mayor Baraka is providing the strong and capable leadership to bring it all together.
On Thursday, the Summer Youth Employment Program takes off. Thanks to this program, I'm here today. All participants receive one-on-one career and financial coaching. They are placed in a job of personal interest, exposed to career paths with support on the job site.
Newark takes pride in being one of the largest centralized summer youth employment programs in the country, where we handle every step of the way for students. Simply providing young people with a summer job leads to dramatic improvement in the safety of cities and also improves academic performance in the following school year.
We need guidance. There is greatness in each of us, and sometimes it's hard for us to see it for ourselves. We are looking to you to cultivate those gifts inside of us and point us in the right direction towards success. Quite frankly, people like me who have been blessed with the opportunity to leave usually leave Newark and never come back. However, I figured that what was the use of all the knowledge I gained at Morehouse if I wasn't going to apply it to the city that has poured into me for all these years?
And we traveled around the country looking at other people's programs in the beginning, and were able to take what we've learned, bits and pieces from other places, and bring it to Newark and turn it into something that was great. And now people come here looking at our program.
I can tell you that this is worth every penny. Each sacrifice we make, and it's making a huge difference in the lives of thousands of Newark youth every summer.
On Friday, the seniors had a fun day at JFK Recreational Center. Swimming pools were open, they moved their muscles with aerobics, which motivated me to exercise, and they had a barbecue. Check it out.
We are here at our Senior Fun Day that we provide for our seniors who participate in our senior aerobics program, as well as our senior aquatic program here at JFK Recreation Facility. We encourage all of our seniors to come out, be a part of our activities, get involved, get engaged.
And with the senior aerobics, when you come, we're having a lot of fun. You're having exercise, you're working off them calories, you're working off them extra pounds. We have the music here. We're all a family here.
And giving back to the seniors that have built this city.
We help out with the kids in recreation. We teach them basketball. I just try to teach the kids what I know and to try to influence them to stay out of trouble.
Today is a beautiful day. I want to thank the mayor for this beautiful occasion. My name is Kathy Lorraine White, AKA Baby Doll. I'm looking forward to having a beautiful day.
If you need more information about what we're doing, you can call us at 973-733-5373.
Earlier this week, Woodstock had a ribbon cutting. If you're looking for new apparel, make sure you stop by. The success of Woodstock has come by a prescriptive approach to capture the directional streetwear retail experience, typically reserved for small sneaker boutiques.
Woodstock is the combination of two words. One ethos. It's wood, the natural element that is, it's a natural element that preserves heritage. Lovers often inscribe their name in wood. And then you also have Stack. Stack is a street moniker. It's a street moniker for aspiring for more. Stack your chips, stack your dollars, stack your coins. When you put the two together, it means preserve your heritage and aspire for more.
Sometimes people assume that we shouldn't have a Whole Foods or we shouldn't have certain retail or amenities as if the city doesn't deserve it. And so I feel like Woodstock really speaks to that point.
And it signifies that the city is moving in a different direction. We appreciate that completely. I know the councilman does, and he needs some sneakers, so we need to bring them over here. But we appreciate it, and I'm sure the community will appreciate it as well.
Hundreds rally across City Hall on Saturday, many motivated by emotions to protest the separation of migrant families from their minority children at the border. The Trump administration's hardline immigration policies continue to break families apart across the country.
We are here to remove the national stain that this president has created on our nation by tearing young children apart from their mothers and their fathers.
I had thought that we had advanced as a nation. But right now, we face a perilous time where we have a president in office who is trying to turn our country around, who is trying to push our nation back. And I stand with you today to say, no way, we will not go back.
I will fight every day that I'm in Congress for our right to be the America that was envisioned by the strength and the diversity and the beauty of the immigrants that came here and made this country great.
We in America know that love of your country is a great thing, but love should not stop at the border.
That's it for today. Make sure you stay cool, go to your local pool. Thanks for watching, and tune in next week.
We are Malcolm X Shabazz Marching Band, and you're watching NWK TV.
morning. Just first, like to thank the interfaith community for being with us here this morning with, Governor Phil Murphy, myself, and the rest of the elected officials. I'm going to try to say everyone that's here. I'm inevitably going to forget someone. I hate doing this, but just want to thank Assemblywoman Tucker, Assemblyman Caputo, Assemblywoman Timberlake, Kevin Brown, SEIU 32BJ, Kim McNamara, CWA, Plainfield Mayor Matt in the building, Irvington Mayor Voss, NAACP President Deborah Smith Gregory, Carolyn Wallace, founder IYO, Altric Best from Hub, all of the council folks that are here today. I see Councilman James, Councilman Gonzalez, and I know the Urban League in the place. That means we all good now, right? And I know the rest of the municipal council would have loved to be here today. They're probably going to make their way down here as soon as they possibly can. Obviously, we're here because we all want to celebrate on the 4th of July. We want the parks to be open. We do not want the state to shut down, and we really believe that it does not have to. We have incredible legislators. We have an incredible governor who told us while he was running what his plans were. So none of this is a surprise to anyone. We knew ahead of time what actually was going to happen. He spoke in his first budget address and told us what he wanted to do, and we were all elated, excited, happy. We did a few victory laps because we knew that finally we were going to have a stronger and fairer New Jersey. We knew that the issues that were near and dear to us in the city of Newark and around the state of New Jersey were finally going to be addressed, that we would have a budget that spoke to all of our needs, just not a few of our needs, right? And we were happy for that, and we're still happy that the governor is pushing forward to make this happen. We know that there's a place to resolve this, and we want it to be resolved immediately, and we think that everybody should pay their fair share. Certainly here in Newark, we're paying our fair share, and we don't even have a share to pay. We have issues around education, around homelessness, around unemployment, long, intractable issues that takes dollars and help and support to deal with, and this governor has been with us 100% of the way. So have our legislators, but this governor has been with us 100% of the way to get this done, and we believe that his budget, the ideas that he want to push forth is what we need, and we don't need gimmicks that'll kind of plug the holes, but 2 years, 3 years from now, put us back in the same situation we're in. We support the governor, our governor, 100,000%. With that being said, I would like to, and I'm excited to have the governor here in the biggest city in the state of New Jersey, and we intend to keep it that way. We are happy that he's here, and we want him to know that we support him. Our interfaith community is out and supporting strong, and we're praying for him in every language possible. To make sure that this thing's come out on the right side of history. That being said, he needs no introduction. Our Governor Phil Murphy.
Thank you, man. Thanks, man. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. First time I've been in this room, by the way. I hope not nearly the last. Incredibly honored to be here, and I'm incredibly humbled by the turnout of folks, both in the audience and standing with me. Elected officials, I'm not sure, Brendan, you got Freeholder President Brendan Gills in the House, who ran our campaign and is one of my closest friends in this entire state. Freeholder Richardson, I'm not sure you got there, but members of council, mayors, thank you for coming out. Particular shout out to the legislators, to Brittany, Ralph, and Cleopatra for their being here today. They know this saga very well. Faith leaders, it means an enormous amount that you're with us today. And brothers and sisters of organized labor, this is a dark day, given the Supreme Court decision. And by the way, they're 2 for 2 this week because the Muslim country ban yesterday was another dark day. But this decision as an impediment to organize and undermine the ability to organize, which is at the very core, frankly, of the middle class notion of the American dream and of this state, a state that was built on the back of union labor and will be rebuilt on the back of union labor. It's a tough day, so I particularly appreciate our brothers and sisters from labor being with us today. Good morning, everybody, and again, I really appreciate